Radio, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Axis Radio, WIAX, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Janelle, celebrity vocal coach right here, and I am a part of Give It Life.
And ratchet, we
And
bringing
real, extra ratchet, raunchy.
That'll be everywhere, like.
Other shops is upstairs, but we down here by our also, man.
This nigga got hit to walk off the set.
We leave that up to Rito.
Yes, y'all.
Be back here with y'all, man.
Word. It's been too long, man. It's been too long.
Been a while. Yes, yes.
Welcome back. You are now tuned in to New World Old Views.
Yes, indeed.
To the left of me, I got Big Vern in the house.
Always a pleasure, my good people.
Yes, sir. And always rocking out on the boards, holding us down. We got the one and only Big Al. We also here, we holding it down for Manny. He can't be here today, but, you know, we're going to get right to it, man.
Yeah, man, he's got a new gig, so he's going to be doing his thing right now. So
salute,
you know,
salute. We
we'll get some
appreciate
time
stuff
in the
like
future.
that.
He'll be back with us and rocking with us.
Exactly. Listen, man, how was your week, man?
It was it wasn't too bad, man. You know,
everyday struggle.
Yeah, seen a few things. That's definitely want to talk about that stuck out to me.
Yeah,
it's been crazy, man. I tell you that in the news and in the world and stuff like that.
It's never easy fighting a good fight. I'll say that much. Like, it's a tough battle. It's a tough battle, but you know, we taking some of the hits and we still going.
Yeah, man.
I will say though, like, it was a horrible week for me, man. Starting out, I mean, salute. My 49ers did what they needed to do to the Steelers.
Okay.
But my Giants, pardon my language, but we got our asses whipped.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness, against a real rival, like in our division. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, Wiz, Wiz probably hype. Wiz is probably hype. Oh my God, it wasn't even close.
I know that I seen it's your boy Aaron Rodgers though.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
I think they say he went out after 4 plays. After 4, yeah.
That's nuts, man. Achilles? I don't think he coming back. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's
over.
That's it.
Especially at that age, 39.
Did you hear Colin Kaepernick's people reached out?
Nah, they're not going.
Yeah, that's over. But you know, he's still letting you know. Listen, I'm available.
Of course. Listen, Colin Kaepernick been available, and you know they just
when you go against the league, when you go against the league, that's it, man.
They blackballed that boy,
everything,
so
for life. So
of course, Colin Kaepernick could go in there. I'm sure. I believe perform at a decent level on a NFL quarterback level in the league. I think he could do it, but
at this point, I don't think so.
Bro, he's
7 years away. 7 years. No disrespect. I would love to see him come back, but 7 years. Come on, man.
How old is
Any
he?
sport.
He's still
30. What is he? 30. Maybe no older than 34, 33.
That's what I'm saying. That's still, bro. That's still young enough to come back and play.
Yeah. What reps are you getting like in actual?
Bro, he stays in shape though. He works out. And he stays in NFL shape too.
There's a difference.
He takes care of himself.
There's a difference between shape and NFL shape.
Yeah.
And actually.
And the guy that stays in that, so he can
in training camps and stuff like that is a huge.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm sure he wouldn't put himself out there. Let's say they did call him in and to check him out. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't just say something like that to put himself in a position to look like a fool. Like if he would put that out there, I'm sure he's prepared himself. So God forbid they was to call him, a team was to reach out to him. He's already, he's prepared. He stays ready, so you don't got to get ready.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't think he would just have his team reach out to the league or reach out to that organization, and he wasn't keeping himself up and to NFL standards. That's what I'm saying.
There's still so much that goes into it. That all right, the physical part, that's great. It's your adaptation to what's come into the game now. Granted, you might watch the games, you might see the different things, but your timing might be off with certain things as far as how you think and how you adapting to the moment. Different things like that play a part. The physicality, that's one aspect, that's one component.
It's physical. What I'm just saying is, if he could perform, if he's in good shape, and
it's also the thought process though too.
Yeah, but that goes with any player. I'm just saying, you just got to be in shape. That's the foundation. If you're in good shape and you're athletic and you're able to play at a high level, you can be in the league. Now, your effectiveness in the league, that would be, we have to wait and see from that, to see what happens and transpires. But I'm just saying, initially, if you're in good shape and you can play, you can meet all the requirements and standards, then yeah, you should go. You should be in the league if you can do that.
Correct. What I'm saying is, like many analysts have stated, from a 7-year time period off, for you, like if it were like during the off season and this happened, and then they were like, all right, we're gonna get you, we're gonna test you out, we're gonna see if invite you to training camp or something like that. This is technically now at the start of the season. Mm-hmm. So what do you think you're gonna get? Granted, Zach Wilson isn't the guy for the Jets.
They've had that
However,
happen. They've had walk-ons come in and be good. They made a movie off that.
Huh?
They made a movie off that. A guy, he was a walk-on for the Jets. Mark Wahlberg played the guy in the movie. The Eagles. The Eagles.
Yeah, he was playing wide receiver, and he really
But he
returned.
came in and he played pretty good.
He returned. Yeah, no, right. But
he wasn't even working out. He was just in shape.
He mainly played on the special teams joint. That's what I'm saying. But not playing the quarterback.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
and,
I'm just saying that to say, like,
they were bad,
and get in the league.
They were just, you weren't the main guy. There's a difference. You looking to come in to see if you could possibly either be the backup quarterback or the starting quarterback. Different scenario.
I think he'd be more effective than Aaron Rodgers. I take him, especially at the age. In the movie.
No, I'm saying Rodgers is out. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, but even before, Aaron Rodgers was like fragile.
It's more to the game than just the physicality part of it.
I mean, but you also got to you can't be fragile. And look what happened. He tore his Achilles. He didn't even get tackled. I heard. I mean, I didn't see the play.
It's the ability to get the ball to your teammates in specific pockets and how to boost them as a player.
Yeah, of course.
That's essential as a quarterback.
I'm not disputing that, but yeah.
So
Aaron Rodgers, it's not. He only has one chip, and how long he's been in the league?
Look at Tom Brady. He wasn't an Adonis. He wasn't aesthetically like, wow. He has the look of the build of a quarterback. Like
but some quarterbacks.
Yeah, some quarterback you just have it. Either you do or you don't. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's going into like the greatest. I'm not putting on Colin Kaepernick. I'm not trying to even have that kind of conversation. I'm just saying, just for him to be able to get in the league and play,
you got to be there to command the ship, right?
I think he could do it.
If your job is the quarterback, what you doing?
Yeah.
You commanding the ship, right?
Yeah, I think he could do it. That's what I'm saying. I think he could do it. I think he could come in and do it. Now, be one of the great quarterbacks and win Super Bowls.
Nah, none of that shit. Anyway, we're not asking that.
Nah.
All I do know is that the Giants better step it up. It started from that bad snap to that blocked field goal, and we hadn't recovered. Now, the Maras and the Tishes, they know what they're doing. They invested $160 million over 4 years. Granted, 2 years are guaranteed for sure. I think 2 of the options. You invested all this much into Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why you didn't do so much with Saquon. There were times he was hurt a lot and stuff like that. Last year, he had a beastly season to prove, give me my money. You didn't want to do it. You don't revere the running backs as much. All right, we put this money on Daniel Jones. People can say what they want about the O-line, all of that stuff. Listen, either you have it or you don't. The O-line can do but so much. Their job is to give you within a 3 to 4 second window. If you can't make something happen within that point in time, that's on you. That's where the breakdown and the adaptation has to come into play as a quarterback. So at the end of the day, listen, you're getting paid. You're doing what you gotta do. Granted, you know, do you deserve more help with the O-line? Sure, but we have to play the cards that we're dealt.
Absolutely, man.
Do your
job. I just
job.
thought it was messed up when I heard
You
that,
have
you
to
know, when he
adapt
just went
to-
out.
to-
Because he just started.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Rodgers there. I was talking about for my Giants when I went back to that. Nah, Rodgers,
That's just
he's
the whole
fine. He's
thing.
but I want my Giants to step it up. All right.
And I'm
Going
hearing
into week 2.
another thing too. Braun won't play in the Olympics?
Oh yeah. You know why that happened? He trying to bring the cavalry after we got destroyed in the world. What is that? The FIBA World Champions or World Cup, whatever they call it. Ever since we got destroyed, I thought it was gonna be a wash for it. I was looking at Ant Edwards just go crazy.
Man.
But now, like you said, all right, stop playing
Robert
around.
Ory was saying something to the effect that he don't think LeBron should do it because he's already proven enough.
I agree.
Like he's already put in the time with his career. Like he think he should save it more for the league because he don't want to risk. You know, he's worried about injury and stuff like stuff
he
like
might be
that.
on his way out though. Next year,
I don't think he's leaving though. I don't think he's gonna retire next year.
he'll be hitting 40 next year.
LeBron not gonna retire next year, bro. He's not gonna do it. I'm telling you, he's not gonna. He's gonna keep playing.
Well,
he's gonna play next year.
either way, I do agree. LeBron shouldn't be going over there. Anthony Davis, please. They just talking with that. Anthony Davis is not going. A few players, I think you need to send some of the Devin Booker
I know
for
LeBron,
sure.
I heard Braun reached out to Draymond, Steph.
Yeah, Devin, Steph, I'm cool with.
You're gonna
and a
need
few
that,
other.
yes. That'll be good.
Joel Embiid, they said that supposedly he has his
Dame.
membership now. I mean, he has his
Dame Lillard.
citizenship now. Right, Dame Lillard, some of those players.
Giannis.
Giannis, does he have citizenship here?
Where?
In the U.S. Did he get his
Of course he do.
citizenship?
I'm sure he do.
I don't know. Joel Embiid just got his citizenship. I'm just asking.
For real?
But yeah, he just got his citizenship. That's why they
damn.
reaching out to him.
Okay. Oh wow.
But yeah,
I didn't
man.
know that. I didn't know that.
I agree, man. It's time, man. It's time. We gotta show them. We gotta show them that we reign supreme. At least in that. At least.
Yeah.
So.
There's been a conversation about why NBA teams can't call themselves world champs. They shouldn't be calling themselves world champs. They just U.S. champs.
United States
And
champs.
it's like insulting. So like they was talking about it, just on like different news outlets and stuff like that. But who out there could really compete with NBA? Like, and I think I see something to the effect on ESPN saying they like to have like a world all-star game or something like that. I saw a post on ESPN with Stephen A. Smith. I didn't see the video.
That's kind of what this is, though.
But it's like something that he was talking about. Yeah, like a world all-star game with all the NBA players and against like top players from other leagues, international leagues and stuff.
What
like
rules
that.
are you playing with?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a whole another conversation too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the video, but I just saw like the title. It's interesting because there was a whole thing about NBA teams calling themselves world champs.
Got you.
And Popovich even had said something back a few years back that he doesn't think NBA teams should call themselves world champs.
All right.
Yeah. This is interesting.
All right, absolutely. All right. You know what I mean? Well, Giants, let's get it together. 49ers, stay on your grind, stay on your hustle. Stay strong. Now let's get into some of that serious stuff that you had in mind, man. I did some research, a little research on it too. Is that the first thing you want to talk about? Because you know you were talking about your lady, your side lady, Miss Governor. How do you put Hochul? Miss Kathy Hochul.
Yeah, man.
You want to talk about her?
Yeah, they post a video, video footage of her back, talking about back in 2021, encouraging people, get vaccinated, things of that nature. How you protecting everybody and all of that. And then it jumped forward to 2023, like about a week ago. Now she's saying everybody that's been vaccinated, doesn't matter if you vaccinated or boosted, doesn't matter, because this new variant is out and it changes. So now that they just approved the new vaccine, that they're encouraging everybody to take to get protected against the variant. And she literally said it doesn't matter if you've been vaccinated or boosted. It doesn't matter. There's no protection for this new variant. And I'm like, that wasn't your whole campaign a few years back. You was campaigning that, initially in the beginning, it was one shot you protected. Then it changed up, then they pushed it for 2 shots. Then it went up to boosters. And now none of the boosters work. Now it's a new shot that you got to take for protection.
You know what that play is all about, right?
I'm just like, bro,
why are you surprised though? I hate when you like.
It's not what I'm surprised. Like, it's just that the fact that I'm just looking at the behavior of people. Like nobody's is like turning up in arms over this. Like this is nuts. Like this is crazy.
What you think is gonna happen?
I mean,
most people may not start out getting it, and then it's going to be a
requirement.
requirement.
Society is
and then people are gonna give
at the lowest point I've ever seen, man.
Why are you surprised? Why do you have so much faith in people?
It's not about faith. It's just about common sense, though, bro. I'm not asking you to solve a physics test. I'm just talking about simple comprehension, dog. Come on, this is basic 5th grade. Like, come on, this is nonsense. Come on, I'm not asking for much, bro. Like, I'm watching this like everybody else, and I'm the only one bugging out. Like, what? This doesn't make sense.
Because your expectations for people are just astounding, man. Like, yo,
it's not about. I'm not no expectations. I'm just like, yo. Everybody likes common sense like that. Like, this is crazy.
So let me ask you a question. In some of your previous places of employment, you haven't noticed that? You haven't seen that illustrated on a consistent level? On a consistent basis?
Not like, bro, it's the level. I'm just astounded at the level of like I said, comprehension of people, especially Americans, especially New York, because Hochul is governor of New York, so this will really pertain to New York. But it's just astounding to me.
You do know that some people are meant to think this way, other people are to think this way, other people are to think that way. That's why you have different, like, you have subgroups, you have different.
Yeah, but it's not like it's two different viewpoints, and both of them hold points, and both of them are valid in their stances, and they're debating on certain things. It's
no,
not like
it can be valid.
This is not equal. It's not the same. Like this, the whole what Governor Hochul said last week goes against the entire campaign that was pushed in 2021. Throughout the year, it changed. That's what I'm saying. There's video footage of them of changing it every couple months. It's the story changing until now. Nothing now. None of them even matter. She said, no, if you've been vaccinated and boosted, it doesn't matter.
Why are you surprised?
I'm just
because technically,
technically,
from their thought processes and just the way things work, as time goes on, things change. So that may no longer be effective for your body compared to what's out now with this new variant that's out. So now you need this vaccine, which they have gone into the lab, done their research.
Yeah, I know, right?
and stated, all right, we know that this will protect you
this
for a limited amount of time as well.
But this is the funny thing, though, because I wrote some stuff down here when I was looking it up. The FDA Commissioner, Dr. Robert Califf, said in a Twitter post on August 25th, the agency skipped right over clinical trials for the newest approved jabs and instead relied on clinical trials from that came out previously, that were COVID boosters from previous clinical trials. I'm the commissioner.
So
saying
they're using that as to push this forward?
There was the FDA just approved 2 vaccines, and what's interesting, they approved it under emergency use authorization. Now, under emergency use authorization, a vaccine can only be approved in the state of a pandemic. There's no pandemic right now, so how can 2 vaccines be implemented and approved under emergency use authorization? The FDA doesn't have that right to do that, but they did it.
Okay. So, all right.
And now, not just that, these vaccines were only tested literally. Newsweek just did a study on it and showed only 8 mice were tested. 8 mice. There was no humans in the clinical trials for this one.
Cool.
And it gets approved under emergency use authorization when there's no pandemic. We're not in the state of a pandemic right now. Remember, President Biden said back in May 11 that all the COVID protocols was over. Mm-hmm. No more COVID regulations and all of that. May 11th, COVID's done. No more. It doesn't exist. We good. So then how is the FDA approving these vaccines under emergency use authorization if there's no pandemic? And that's literally the definition of emergency use authorization.
Well, you know what that's about. That's just to soothe the common people that don't know any better. And
I'm just astounded at the ignorance of people. Like nobody has.
But that's why you're here to enlighten the people. Because ignorance just means you're unaware. So let me ask you this.
Not willful ignorance.
So let me ask you this. What do you suggest the people do in regards to this?
First of all, this is not this is ridiculous. Now they're trying to bring back mask mandates in schools again with kids. There's been a plethora of studies that have shown that masks do absolutely nothing. Your boy Fauci was on CNN. I don't know how he got on there because he left in disgrace. I don't know how he was able to get a TV gig, but his connections is highly up there for him to get a gig back on CNN. But however, he was talking about masks and all that, and the dude that was interviewing him was showing him all the studies that say, like, bruh, masks do absolutely nothing. So why we what makes you think people are going to do that? And he's just saying, oh no, but see, overall masks, this is literally what he said, Fauci. He said, overall, the masks don't do anything, but individually, there's indications of it helping and doing something. And we're like, but bro, we have studies here from all different types of doctors in this field that show the study that it does absolutely nothing. In fact, it can make your respiratory system worse because you're breathing in all that waste.
Yeah.
There's actually studies to show contrary to that. Yeah. So it was like, why are we doing this nonsense? And it's like now they're promoting this in schools. There's some schools that's mandating kids back to masks again and stuff like that. This is why I said about the uproar. People have now said, a lot of things didn't make sense that happened during COVID before. There's been a lot of stuff that's been coming up. They're like, wait, this was wrong, this was wrong, this was wrong. And now they're coming back at you again with the same nonsense. And it's like, you gonna fall for it again? Again? Like, if you slap me once, that's my fault. You slap me twice, that's my fault. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm not doing what I need to do to protect myself. The first time you caught me, all right, that was your fault. You snuck me, you got me. Yeah. The second time, you're not gonna catch me now because now I know how you move. You understand what I'm saying? Come on, that's what I mean. Uproar. Nobody's pissed off about this. Nobody's like, this is crazy. And it's that in conjunction with a host of other things. The whole migrant issue in New York.
Right. But before we get to the migrant issue,
like, it's just New York is just nuts.
Like I told you earlier, when all of this came into play, for some odd reason, people are set in their ways. A lot of the older people, they're under the firm belief that, you know what, my body's old, I don't want to take that chance. I need to get this vaccine.
Bro, come on, man.
And it's hard to explain. Even with information that you get, there are people that are set on the news and believing everything that's stated.
That's cognitive dissonance, man. Cognitive dissonance is a real thing, bro.
But now you're asking people whose minds are set one way and don't have the faculties necessarily that even younger people have, and some of them are still setting their ways. But what I'm saying is, what uproar do you think you're gonna
because
get
from
you know,
I have a statement here. It's crazy that the things that they're saying. You have a statement here from Mandy Cohen. She's the director of the CDC. She says some viruses change over time. The coronavirus is one of them. It finds ways to evade our immune systems by constantly evolving. That's why our vaccines need to be updated to match the changed virus.
I told you.
Essentially is what she's saying, and then every few years you're gonna keep inoculating people to death. All of a sudden, so from 2020 on now, the whole population, we just have to just keep getting inoculated to death.
Yes.
Over and over a few years.
They're gonna have a little period in which they say, all right, everything is good now. Then comes the scare again. Do you know what would happen if they come back and say, hey, we messed up. Actually, you're good. You need no more of this. All these people that lost their jobs and all of that, you don't think that there would be a crazy uproar with that?
Yeah, but you know who I really would like to see the biggest uproar from? People that's already vaccinated. Like, cause I know plenty of people that's vaccinated. It's like, yo, this is nonsense. I'm good. I'm not. No, I've taken what I'm taking. I'm good. That's it. I'm good. I would because now they're saying that even if you are, that does nothing for this new variant. There's no. But she said literally, there's no protection.
Right. But what I'm saying is that your argument for people that took the vaccine,
they would be pissed. I would expect them to go crazy.
The only way they would be pissed is they'd be like, yo, something's going on with like my respiratory system. I'm having this is occurring. Like I feel like I'm somewhat mutated or something of that.
No, but
nature.
I'm not even talking
That's
about
the only way it would.
I'm not even talking about to that extent.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
Just based off what I'm talking about, the people though that took it under the impression that it was providing them protection against COVID and any future viruses. I'm talking about people that took it under that impression.
Well,
and that's what a lot of people
did.
Foolish.
They were foolish because
no, but that's what they did.
Didn't
that
say
was the whole
future.
campaign.
No, I didn't hear something about future.
Bro, they
because
talked about
can't predict that.
They said if you take this, you'll be fine. You're good. They promoted that vaccine campaign hard and thoroughly.
You're good, but they didn't say that. They didn't hit you with the listen.
Bro, they did. They promoted.
Up.
They promoted it from the first one. They first said you back. This was like April 2021. What was her name? She was in charge of the CDC. Rochelle Walensky. She said she promoted it. Take the first shot, you'll be good. You're fine. You can look at you can find that video. Right, what I'm saying is she said that about the first one. It's the CDC, top of the CDC, saying the first shot. They knew about all that, bro. Of course they did. Are you kidding me?
Of course, the higher up. I'm talking about the common folk.
I'm not talking about the common folk. I'm just talking about based off what she's telling the common folk. She's just telling them the first time it was just about the first shot and how that's effective and how you just need that. Then later they changed it and said, no, you need 2. Now they promoted 2, no more 1. First they said it was 1, take 1, literally. Then they changed it to 2. Then from 2 they went to set a booster. Then from a booster they went to a 4th booster. Now from a 4th booster they're saying no, that don't even protect you at all. All of those are done. You need to take a new vaccine that we just created, that was just approved with no human clinical trials.
Absolutely.
Under emergency use authorization when there's no pandemic. And it was only tested on 8 mice. And they're promoting this and say, take this, because what you've taken can't do anything. There's a whole new variant
because
now.
This is something new. That's what they putting under the guise of it. That's
Come on, bro. That's
what they're telling you.
This is insanity, bro.
We not
America's losing their goddamn mind. New York losing it. The whole world. Everybody's just crazy, man. It's just nuts.
To you? Like,
I'm just saying, it's crazy.
You act as if like
it's just crazy, man.
I'm telling you, you expect too much.
It's not about. I said common sense, not common sense.
That is an expectation. That's a lot of expectation.
Damn, they have common sense.
Yes.
That even proves my point how bad society is. Then
because what's common to you, you've heard it before. What's common to you is not. No.
Stop it. Don't do that. No, don't do it. I know where you're going.
No. Yes. Yes. Because certain common sense can be applied. You come up a different way. You schooled a different way. Common sense is different. Believe it or not,
I get what you're saying to a certain degree.
Yes.
I get what you're saying to a certain degree.
Some people played Tetris in life and learned a lot of different things just by Tetris. People did different puzzles and stuff like that, and allowed them to do. People went to different schools and learned different deductive reasoning skills, bro. I've had to
I hear
learn
you.
bro.
I hear you. But I'm just saying, man.
And
Listen,
I'm
man. We
truly
gotta.
under the belief that the higher you go up in education, the more common sense you tend to lose because you're so stuck.
Absolutely.
This is just my opinion. I don't want to speak. I'm telling you from certain things that I've seen, just in my small sample that I've seen with people that go up in education, the common sense stuff, they're so stuck on one specific thing sometimes that they don't at least try to keep their mind open. All right, let me keep my head. Let me try to remember certain stuff that makes sense. It's either that or a sense of entitlement. It's one or the other, bro. I'm telling you. But common sense, what you're expecting of people, I don't want to tell you to give up, but
yo, you know what?
Listen,
yeah,
bro.
You're right, because we live in a society, man, like where they promoted like the degeneracy that's promoted in America that's being accepted. It's insane. Like I just seen California just passed a bill. It's what's it called? 957. It's a California legislative just passed Assembly Bill 957, which in custody battles requires that the state court system consider whether parents are affirming of their children's transgender identification. Parents who reject face losing children for good and could be liable for child abuse. Like, this is America is it's going.
you know what?
I'm at a loss for words, man. Like I said, it's crazy, man. It's really nuts out here. And this is like I said, legislation and implementing stuff like this. You know, promoting this to our children. The whole migrant situation, it's crazy. Did you hear what Mayor Adams said?
No, what did he say?
Mayor Adams just spoke about and said that. He said the migrant
killing us.
He said, in his career and stuff like that, he's always seen solutions to problems. And anytime there was always a problem, he always seen solutions.
And there's no solution.
He said there's no solution to this.
Yes,
in
I
fact,
remember seeing
it's
that.
destroying New York, the migrant situation. He said it is destroying it, and New York is not going to be able to recover from this.
You're right. I did see that.
He said, we are not going to be able to recover from this if this does not stop. Then we're not getting any type of funding or helping or anything. And it's like, what is it? It's something like 100,000 or something crazy like that coming into New York per month. It's great. And he was talking about how all of a lot of the social services and the funding that goes to different things that benefit communities and residents, citizens and stuff like that. All of that's going to collapse, pretty much. And this is happening all over the country.
So basically,
like, what the hell is Biden doing? What is this presidency doing?
Like California's homelessness situation.
Yeah, but what is this like? What is this presidency doing?
He's one man, brother.
But he implemented that though. Literally, he changed that though. So I don't want to hear no one man, brother. He literally came in and reversed that. That was one of the executive laws that he reversed. So I don't want to hear one man. He's the only man that's needed to do that.
But the cities, states, counties, and townships have to enact on it.
No. He's in charge of the border,
and they have
bro.
to utilize discernment.
But he's in charge of the border. He's allowing people to come in.
Right. Yes. I'm saying in every city, township, county, whatever have you, state, those people that are in charge of those places have to use discernment and have to make do with what they have, with the resources.
They don't have anything. There was a video, one of the islands off, it's an Italian island. It's called Lebanoni, something like that. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. But there was the island only has about 6,000 Italians on it. There's a video footage of 7,000 migrants Russian trying to come in, and you see the Italian police fighting and blocking them off. Like, you've seen this a lot in certain areas of the world. Not all, because a lot of first world nations is not doing this, especially not to the degree that America's doing it. Like, why would you just have a flood of these people all just come in? What do you think is going to happen? So that's why you talk about discernment and these states. It's not about that. They can't handle this. These cities can't handle it. It shouldn't be happening. That's why you have a president that's supposed to look out and protect the border. He's allowing that to come in. So he's literally destroying your own country. And when I say destroying it, I'm not saying that people can't come here. Not at all. But you don't have it to that degree where it's going to come in and affect the lives of other people that's living there. Of course, if people want to come to America, I'm all in support of that. But you have to regulate the border and control it to a degree, my God. You don't open it like that.
We agree.
That's insane.
Listen, what I will say is
like what's happening in the I've never seen nothing like this in the past 2 years, bro. Since this dude got in office, like America did the topsy-turvy, completely upside down.
I won't say it started with him.
It did though. Not like that. I don't care what you said. The country wasn't in this condition when it was under Trump, bro. Come on, it wasn't like this under. People say, like I even know diehard Democrats that even say that. That's even acknowledging that now. Like even Biden supporters can't even dismiss it.
Like, go.
Go, no. Appreciate that comment.
Yes,
thank you,
Miss Lady.
But nah, dog. Even like come on, dog. This is ridiculous. This is like, come on. You can say whatever you want, but the United States wasn't in this condition, dog. Like, come on.
I didn't. Hold on. Like, I didn't say that it was in this condition.
We not respected. I just seen something where 21 nations are all gathering up, meeting up to ditch the dollar. And they're doing that. The president of North Korea, he's just met up. It said something like 500,000 or something like that. I was looking at to Russia, and Russia talking to them about weapons trade and stuff like that. The whole world arming up and getting together and making alliances and stuff like that, and try to use a different currency that'll be backed by their natural resources and stuff like that.
I mean,
American dollar is like losing value, and then you just having an influx of more people coming in. Like, how is that going to be beneficial for the economy in terms of jobs and affecting the whole environment? Like you said, like you hear what the mayor said, all of the different services and things like that is going to collapse because they don't have the funding to accommodate all these people.
Yeah.
Coming in at such a high rate, like I'm saying, hundreds of tens of thousands is coming in per month. Tens of thousands. Something like 30, 40,000 or something like that a month. Into New York, bro. New York only 8 million people live in New York.
There are no rooms to really.
8 million people live in New York. New York's not that big of a city. I mean, it's diverse. Right. I mean, maybe there are cities that maybe it is one of the biggest cities. I don't know. I don't think so. It's 8 million. I know another. California is second. As far as like diversity and it being expensive and things of that nature. But it's like I said, it's only 8 million people that live in New York. So you having thousands of people coming in per month?
Yeah. When you already have like you said, when you already have 8 million. But that's ridiculous.
Come on.
But listen, man.
This is like this guy. Jesus Christ. You need to get him out. Like
I'm not a firm believer, like I'm not a follower like of the biblical teachings, but what I will say is what you were saying earlier about some of the things that's going on, even before you brought up the migrant situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer in, listen, what you said about the transgender situation and how you I guess the parents have to go along with.
Yeah, but see, it's a slippery slope. When you read the bill, like the language in the bill is very ambiguous. So it's slippery how it justifies or deems certain things. It talks about a child. If a child has certain mental issues or what they deem identity and stuff like that. So a parent that's dealing with that, they would have to really look into a child that is in that, in that kind of situation. They would have to really, really look into that and research that law to see what their rights are. But the fact that that bill is even put in, that the legislator implemented that, it's insane. Like I seen one state elected official was speaking out saying how people should leave that state and come to states where they, that stuff is not tolerated because it's coming down to different states, and how they feel in regards to that. And there's definitely a divide. Definitely a split. You have a lot of states that's not in agreement with that, and that stuff is completely banned 100%. But then you have some states that, accommodate
I'm cool
it.
with us just cut off, we just no longer have children. We just die out, and we have we have a new awakening. Like I said, even in the Bible, it had to restart, man. You can't be like, listen. Let people decide who they want to be. Don't be pushing these bills to create a different type of lifestyle.
It's perversion, bro. They're trying to destroy our children. They're trying to destroy the kids, man. Like, that's the future of the kids.
I'm cool with no more. Let's not bring forth any new generations and.
No, it's not about that. It's about protecting the generation that's here.
How?
So
like you said, they create all of these bills
because now it's going to get to the point where, like I said, it's going to come down to people that have certain morals and principles and certain codes that they subscribe to and that they adhere to, and that they're not going to budge on. You're not going to come near my child with that kind of nonsense. This is going to come down. This is why this is it's going to come down to more. This is why masculinity is so important, because when masculinity drops, and because when you have testosterone levels dropping, you don't have enough masculine men protecting the structure of societies and stuff like that, because that's how they collapse. And like I said, but testosterone levels are at record lows. Like they said, the average man in the 50s, the men of today have 50% less testosterone than men did like in the 50s and 60s. It's like crazy.
Do you think that's due to certain things that they put in their food?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like that?
It's definitely stuff that's being strategically done, bro. All of this is, listen, all of like, there's a book, Behold the Pale White Horse. That breaks all of this down. I mean, it goes
in
back in depth. Like if you read that book, it breaks this down. This is all government orchestrated. The government's 100% behind it. That ain't no rocket science. People call you conspiracy. Oh, that's people that just ain't really researched it and looked into it. Right. There's a plethora of books. You got a book. The committee of 300.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying.
Check this out, though.
There's a bunch of. But yeah, let's
check this out, though.
What's up?
Now we have a pillar or a staple or a prominent figure in the conscious community now behind bars, according to reports, due to his guilty plea for I don't want to use the word, but I'll say for sexual deviant behavior. And if you don't know who we're speaking of Brother Polite, aka Michael Nowak Jr. He pled guilty to charges of child molestation and transporting minors across state lines for illegal sexual activity. And I know, I think you follow to some degree the conscious community, correct?
There's some of the guys in there. There's some.
Were you well versed in regards to Brother Polite?
I mean, I wasn't well versed in him specifically and how he came about and stuff like that. But I do know. I know some of his talking points I definitely agree with. Some of the things he said. Mm-hmm. He's a very articulate brother. So yeah. There's definitely definitely things he said, and he had a lot of his little debates that you see when he would take on
absolutely.
He would take on
Captain
Tazariot and all of them, and all those different other brothers. So.
Right. So let me ask you this:
he's under the tutelage, I think, of Malachi York.
Yeah, he was huge under Dr. York. And let me ask you this, because a lot of the conscious community, they spoke out and gave their points of view. Many said, "Hey, listen, he pled guilty. He's guilty, and we cannot stand for things like that." Other people say, "Hey, the system. Sometimes when they can make it seem sketchy, all of this stuff. Nah, but let's say since he pled guilty, he's guilty. Okay. Now, how like in regards to prevention for sexual deviant behavior, how can we like perform? Like, how can we have like signs and actual components or elements of communal prevention to I guess to seek out sort of signs of this type of possible behavior within certain people just within our communities, or is it you never really know until it occurs?
Did he actually commit? Did he do something? What was he charged with?
He said that he pled guilty, but he was supposedly he pled guilty to charges of child molestation and transporting minors across state lines for illegal sexual activity. Because I heard the mother of one of the if there were more, I heard mother of one of the victims speak out, and the mother of the victim was his wife. So yeah, he supposedly took her somewhere.
So that's not his daughter.
I don't believe it's his daughter.
His daughter.
I don't. No, it's not his daughter. No, it's not his daughter.
I thought all his children was with the wives. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously not.
But maybe she had a.
She has a daughter outside.
Before they got married or whatever.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So.
And what did she say?
Oh, she said a lot. She said that.
Was she in support of him, or she?
No. At this point, yeah, like she was not in support.
Oh, no, I didn't know. Was she in support?
Right,
what she was saying? Was she going with the accusations, or she was saying it's nonsense, or she was saying?
No, she was saying that he. The reason why a lot of this came into play is because at one point when that first happened, she wanted to take her daughter to the hospital. And he was like holding her back. He was trying to refrain her from going to the hospital. He was like, "This will ruin me. Don't do it. Like, don't do it." And she found a way. She made a way to take her daughter to the hospital because she believed her daughter. She believed what her daughter told her, and she took her to the hospital. And that's why this case had been ongoing for at least over a year and some change, maybe 2 years. So, and she said that I believe that with this time that you're gonna serve in prison, he pled guilty for 7 years.
And he pled guilty.
Right, but the kicker was that as long as he didn't have to register as a sex offender, I believe that was. I'm guessing that's why he pled guilty.
Oh, they have. Oh, I thought. Oh, wow, they have something like that. If you do some time, then you won't be registered.
Well, you know, most of the time in court and like in the judicial system.
I thought if it pertained to kids, that's going to be on you regardless.
Right, but in the judicial system, they want convictions.
Yeah, sure.
So they're willing to bargain. They worry about their conviction rates being at a certain level. Yeah. That's why most of the time when you're getting a deal done, it still counts as a conviction.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, when you get a deal, that's still a conviction.
Right.
Yeah.
So he pled guilty under the terms of, all right, I won't be on the sex offenders registry type thing. So what I'm asking you is, what do you think are some good what are some ways to exploit or push forth prevention within this realm, within our communities, and to be able to be on the lookout?
We just simply need more men and fathers in our communities to protect our little girls. That's all.
Well, but
you need more. I'm saying is there should be a fear for that. There should be.
There could be a guy that you could think that, you know what I mean? Like you said, people come up to you, friendly, you know what I mean? Pull wool over your eyes, and you like, man, nah, this person never. And stuff like that. You just truly don't know until I guess it occurs, correct?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, from a community standpoint, it has to be recognized and known that children are off limits. Period. Case closed.
They don't already know that?
Sometimes some don't, because this is why we're talking about this particular topic right now. That's my point.
Okay.
There should be repercussions for actions like that. You can't do stuff like that. There's plenty of, listen, getting some cheeks in 2023 ain't hard. That's not hard, bro.
I mean,
you just go out.
It's hard unless you pay for it.
What I'm saying, there's ways, man.
It's hard unless you pay for it.
There's ways. It's not like, like a child, like, come on.
But
it ain't something.
Here's what I will
what
say.
I'm saying, he had, he was,
It's not about
from the
getting
looks of it,
cheeks.
he was chilling.
Yeah.
Getting making some money. I know he was doing something, investing in something like that. So
Right.
it looked like he was starting to.
They said he was getting women. It's not
he
about,
was benefiting from the fruits of his labor.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, you don't need to be engaging with a child.
No, but see, and
Period.
by no means do I want anybody to think that
Like,
I'm getting it twisted. It's not about always getting cheeks. It's about getting the cheeks that you desire.
and that's a problem. That's what I'm saying. Your desire is
yes, you could possibly get cheeks. Yes. But there are times you want what you want. Now, like you said, that's a problem. Yes. You know what I mean? You have to do this all according to the guidelines and the parameters set up within the law, the Constitution of the law. You know what I mean? So,
listen.
I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, so basically, there are no preventative measures. Preventive measures that you can
This
really.
is why, even more so, I said earlier, it's going to take. Sometimes you have to violence. Sometimes violence will move people and make
absolutely.
people move in a certain manner. Sometimes you have to just resort to that. And when in regards, like I said, to our children and protecting kids in America, it's going to come down on, like I said, fathers and men with families and things of that nature that subscribe to a certain moral code and principles. It's going to come down to that. You don't have enough of that in America right now. Okay? They just did a study that the average, I don't even know what it is recent now, but back in 1986, the man's average handshake was 118 pounds. In 2016, it was like 94 pounds. I don't even know what it is now. And like I said, with this, there's not enough. That's what it's going to come down to. Is when it comes down to things of that nature, because the perversion is getting out of control. Once they start trying to target children and try to take children away from parents if they don't subscribe to this nonsense or this identity bullcrap and all this other stuff. And then, like I said, it's going to come, with this whole situation with all these migrants coming into the neighborhood. You don't know who's coming in, bro. You got all types of pedophiles and rapists that's coming in at the bottom of the border. I was reading a study about how the Border Patrol caught a lot of the guys. A lot of these guys was just getting out of Mexican jails. A lot of them was like rapists and child killers and stuff like that. Caught at the border. All types of this nonsense is coming into the country, bro. And like I said, America is becoming to look like a little war zone slowly. Yeah. It's becoming like a little war zone out here, man. So, it's going. It's gonna. Like I said, what I've seen in 2 years, man, since January 2021 up until now, you could write a book on America.
The purge shall be a real thing, man.
And what's transpired, man.
The purge will
absolutely,
be
but
a real thing.
It's gonna come down where I think it'll be necessary. I swear to God, because like sometimes, some people, like I said, I hate to say it like that, but
listen, because same thing. There was an actor in the show. But that 70s show, never really watched it.
Oh, yeah.
Danny Masterson.
Yeah.
He's been sentenced to 30 years to life for 2 counts of, sexual deviant behavior. I don't want to use the word. You know what I'm saying? And they said that he was using his defense, partially his defense as being the fact that he was like a Scientologist. You understand what I'm saying? And supposedly, the three women that all of the three accusers also were Scientologists. You know, but I think one of the accusers thing got thrown out, but the other two is why he got sentenced the way he got sentenced for. So it's a dangerous game, man. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but I think at one point, Ashton Kutcher and Mira Sorvino, they
Kunis, something like that.
Mira Kunis. I'm sorry, Kunis or something like that. Yeah, they
they got a lot of backlash.
They gave letters, of support, and I heard that they got the backlash because it happened after the sentencing or something like that. I don't know.
They got backlash because they supported him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They wrote the letter of support.
The people was like, "Why are you supporting this guy?" And he did all.
Because
I don't know the specifics of it, but I heard I told you
before. The reason why stuff like that happens because sometimes, from what they know of that person, that's why I don't want people to look like if Ashton Kutcher knew him in this light or Mira Kunis knew him in this light, don't shun them away and like, oh, how could you, like, that's not what they know of that person. They don't view that.
Yeah, but
like,
I mean,
and you were, and yes, he might have been convicted, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't wrongfully convicted. I'm not saying that that's the case. Yeah. I'm saying there's a difference when you plead guilty. Because if you plead guilty, doesn't necessarily mean you were wrong either, but you probably didn't like your chances of how it was looking. But what I'm saying is that, okay, you're convicted. See, that's where we go back to common sense. Sometimes, this person was convicted, so they did it. See?
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's the people that lack common sense.
We agree there.
And that always say, this person was convicted, so it had to be the case. First off, that's not even true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of jurors are very ignorant of the law. Even when they're being a certain thing, they're very ignorant of the law. And a lot of times they let their personal feelings really play a major part, as opposed to, all right, this is what the prosecution presented. This is what the defense presented. All right, let's take this into account. Okay, the defense went from here to there to there. The prosecution has this. All right, but they have no smoking gun. They don't have certain evidence. They don't have something to tie this person there to this day, whatever. But they can hear the testimony of an accuser, saying certain things, but there are certain things that are still blurry, other stuff like that. But they can just be convinced by one or two things, and a person could get convicted. That's what I'm saying.
Truth. Yeah.
Good.
No,
I'll be right back. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. So, Homeland Security, guys. I want to talk about this too. I found this very, very, very interesting. Homeland Security awards $20 million in grants. Interesting, to police, mental health networks, university churches, and school districts to help identify Americans as potential extremists. What you think about that, OG? I found that very interesting. To help identify Americans as potential extremists. $20 million in grants. To police, mental health networks, universities, churches, and school districts to help identify Americans as potential extremists.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. My mic ain't working right now that well, but there's always, how would I say, their reasonings when it comes to why they aren't financing or are financing certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they put a certain twist on it to have you believe that there's a whole lot of other things going on. So they're allocating these funds for other places and other reasons.
Yeah. Because they're making it seem like it's to our benefit. But I was reading this professor, this criminal law professor, that was writing about it, and pretty much what he was articulating is that it's just an invasion of privacy.
Right.
Just to maintain, so the government can just get more of an inside look into our lives. Because Homeland Security, I was just telling AD about it gave $20 million in grants to police, mental health networks, universities, churches, and school districts to help identify Americans as potential extremists.
What is that? You mean
potential extremists, exactly.
Like people that are against the vaccine. People
pretty much anybody that opposes the narrative that the United States government is going to promote is going to be, will be labeled.
What does that mean? What are you going to do? You're going to lock them up? What are you?
Well, no. But on the surface level, it's promoted to provide stability and security to make sure that nobody's a terrorist. On a surface level, but in reality, it's just another way to invade the privacy of American citizens. Homeland Security giving out. What are you giving out networks to mental health networks are? This is just to keep track of people's mental capacities,
state,
police, the education, their religious through the churches with the school districts and stuff like that. Just to keep track, even from all the way up. That's why I got school districts. Keep an eye. All the way up throughout childhood, adolescence to adulthood. So, especially in particular areas and things of that nature.
So what they're really going to do is they're going to find a way to solidify why they're sanctioning these categories. So when it comes to establishing the privatized jail system, okay, they have a category that the other monies are going to be allocated for. You understand? So. Yeah, they just trying to really establish a area where they can justify their means for locking us up with another title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got you. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah. That's why I asked. Was it a situation where they're looking to throw you behind bars? I mean, they did it with the Black Panthers. Anybody that's against their cause is deemed as, like you said, a threat or a terrorist.
Remember though, from
that standpoint,
they passed legislation a few years back under Obama. He passed national NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, and within that act, you can assassinate terrorists, but within that bill, American citizens can be deemed terrorists. That's the funny thing.
American citizens can
be deemed terrorists, so terrorists can be assassinated.
Right.
But by their own government. But then again, where it's moving to, in the direction that it's going, especially now with the level of power, with censorship, when it comes to social media and things of that level, the level of control now, how they're trying to go switch to digital. I was just looking at how Madison Square Garden, now if you go there, you put the money in your machine, it gives you a card. So your money comes out on a card, and then you scanning it to use stuff. I don't know if they have it throughout Madison Square Garden, but they're starting to implement it. There's certain businesses now that's going cashless.
Yeah.
That's all going all digital. Everything is just it's like a form of, it's a concentration of power, where everything is just being allocated pretty much under one roof, where it's really being, because everything is really regulated and controlled by like a small group of corporations.
Yeah.
Like when you look at it, like it's a lot. When it comes to the military, there's like small. When it comes to the major industries and stuff like that, there's few corporations. They're all under one roof. Like a few roofs.
That's how you funnel the money, yo. That's how you funnel the money.
Yeah, it's like an oligarchy, like so. Yeah. But it's I wanted to talk about these what I've seen recently about these studies on 5G, man, because and its effect on kids, and I didn't know how bad it is, how bad the effect is with 5G on children, because it's interesting how 5G is banned in a lot of countries, a lot of first world nations. It's completely banned. In fact, there was a smartphone in France, and it had let off too much electromagnetic waves, and France stopped it immediately, and it was only a few points up, and they recalled it, and Apple is in the process of rectifying that as immediately as of right now as we speak. Recently, it's a smartphone was banned in France after French regulators determined it emits above threshold radiation levels. The phone emits more electromagnetic waves susceptible to be absorbed by the body than permitted, announced the NFR, France's radiation regulatory agency.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Have you ever thought about why these cell phones all have numbers attached to them? So they're getting ready to come out with the iPhone 15, right? 15 series Pro, right? So think about what you're speaking about, right? And every time that they come out with a new phone, even with Androids, every phone has a number.
Yeah.
Right? And that number is how they regulate, right, those waves that come out of that phone that could damage us. And we never stop to think about it. So let's say you're getting 15 megabytes of radiation per hour off the iPhone 15. Does that fit within the standards of what the regulations say? Okay, if you put out a phone, okay, it can't exceed this amount.
That's the thing. We don't have.
But they don't care. Like,
that's the thing.
We don't the technology.
We don't have that. Yeah, we don't have regulations on that out here in America. That's one of the funny things about America. All the other nations, like in France, 5G is banned. In Russia, 5G is banned. In England, I think it's banned. In fact, there's a list here where since '94, you've had a lot of federal agencies that's come out to speak about it. I'll just run off a few. You had the 1994, the Amateur Radio Relay League's Bioeffects Committee warned the FCC. The FCC is the Federal Communications Commission. They have the final say so when it comes to anything pertaining to phones and telecommunications and communications and things of that nature and radiation and all of that. Right. They're one of the major ones that have the final say-so on things of that nature. And it says here, they do not protect against non-thermal effects back in '94. In 2000, the United Kingdom's Department of Education warned that children under the age of 16 should not use a mobile phone except in an emergency. In 2002, the Interdisciplinary Society for Environmental Medicine, which is comprised of more than 3,000 German physicians, recommended banning all cell phone use by children, as well as all cell phone and cordless phones in preschools, schools, hospitals, nursing homes, event halls, public buildings, and vehicles. And this goes down, like I said, you had some more in 2003. The American Bird Conservancy and Forest Conservation Council filed a lawsuit against the FCC because its wireless policies were causing millions of migratory birds to become disoriented, resulting in many of them crashing into cell phone towers and disrupting all the cell phone connections. All the way from 04 and 05, all different agencies, all the way up until 2018. All different agencies. My point is there's been different federal agencies coming out speaking up about 5G and its effects on the health of people and even children, more so because children being so small, their skeletons are small, their frames are much smaller, so they're more susceptible to radiation than we are, because they don't have that protection yet that adults have. So and now with these new cell phones, I was looking at, they're promoting 6G. They're pushing for 6G
right now, while they're saying that Apple is looking into 5G.
Yeah, no, all of these 6G has been in topic for a minute now, going because they're talking about promoting internet connection, faster speed, all of this. But 5G already poses serious health threats. That's not being talked about. Like I said, the Federal Communications Commission They had one of the ones that had one of the final say-sos. They say nothing. There's no testing on how much radiation comes from these phones. There were studies that they showed that if you put just holding this phone to your ear for 17 minutes a day, or like 15 minutes a day, increases your chances of brain tumors and brain cancers by like 65%.
I believe it.
Like the type of radiation that's coming from these phones and things like that, and routers and Wi-Fi. Like sometimes at night, turn your Wi-Fi off, turn your router off in your house. The amount of radiation that comes off the Wi-Fi, and all of the 5G towers that they're putting up everywhere, it's not
safe.
It's not safe for people. It's at all, bro.
But the sad part is there's no turning back at this point, bro. There's no turning back for these corporations. Are you crazy?
It's not.
You think they're turning back? Never. So, I mean, I don't know.
Man, you just gotta listen. I tell people just take care of yourself, man.
That's what I'm about to say. You gotta
just
put the right
stay in
stuff
shape,
in
eat
your
right,
body.
work out, take care of yourself, take your
proper
vitamins,
herbs. Yeah,
that's it,
vitamins,
man.
herbs.
Because it's.
Because then there's no turning back. Too much money at risk.
Yeah.
Too much money at play.
Yeah, but you know what?
We know the love of money
it's already
is the root
about
of all
the
evil,
they
man.
got
The love
it's
of money is
past
the root of
bread
all
because
evil.
like
No, it's not.
You got all that though, dog. They got all the money though. There ain't no more money to gain.
There's more. There's always more. There's always
But you
more.
have it all, or you control
There's
all of it. Now
always
it's just
more.
about power. It's past money.
Yeah.
Now it's about power now.
They tie in. It ties in.
No, but it superseded money because now you have all that. So now what it's about, because now once you got all the power, now you're just going into a whole another level of greed and power.
Yeah, control.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a whole level now that you're operating on psychologically now. Because you could have stopped that. You had all the break. You got all the money. Now you chilling. Now you just being. You
want to see people weak.
Exactly. You want to break them down. Be a plague on the planet.
It makes you feel good.
Makes them feel good.
That's what I'm. Obviously, I didn't mean you.
No. I know not us, but I mean like it makes them, man. They subscribe to that
way of life.
That type of philosophy. That's
a lot
why
of
we just
do.
got it.
Most people do. They
I won't
just
say
do it
most
on
people
smaller
do, bro.
scales. Just they
Nah,
do, bro.
Here you go
Once again,
Here
you're
you
giving
go.
too much expectation
Here
of
you go.
people.
Here you go. No.
Yes, no, I'm being honest,
No,
bro.
I'm not gonna believe most people are sociopaths.
Yes, they do.
Bro. I'm talking
No,
about sociopaths.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about whether it's
I'm talking
whatever.
about these people are
It's a
functioning
scale,
sociopaths,
Different
though.
scales. That's what I'm saying. You're saying they're sociopaths because
What you mean
they have the
scale?
ability to do it on such
you
a
mean
higher
scale?
level, on higher scale. I'm saying people would like to exert, like even what you said about manhood, shaking hands equal 118 pounds. People do that as a form of dominance and a form of like strength and control to some
No, it's
degree.
not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
bro.
not. That could just, bro.
Yes,
You could
yes,
just
it
have a
is.
strong handshake because you a bricklayer. When
No,
you shake it,
no,
that
no.
don't mean you trying to shake
I'm
my
saying-
hand, exert your
I'm
dominance.
saying
That
you're-
could just be who you are.
All right.
So that's what I'm saying. That
Okay,
got to do
so-
with control.
so-
that could
so-
just be.
no, yes,
that's
it
just
can
man.
be.
That's
Yes,
just
it
you. Because
can.
first of all,
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
don't even do man. It's only a few guys that take on those kind of jobs now. And stuff like
Right,
that.
but
what I'm just saying, that's what I mean. It's just got masculinity has just dropped overall.
You're putting it
Period.
onto a job. I'm just
Period.
saying
Overall, throughout
in
society, is
general.
diminishing.
So the people that are where they are, that's just who they are. That's what they feed off of. That's what they like. That's who they are.
What do you mean? In
What
regards
you
to
just
what?
said about a bricklayer being a bricklayer, that's just who he is or whatever.
But I'm talking
Those
about
people-
men that's backbone being like protectors in our community and
No,
stuff
right.
like that. We don't
but
have
what I'm
that.
saying is, no, what I was saying, I was just talking about how we all try to operate off control to some scale, some degree, whatever.
What do
People
you mean
feel
by
good when
that,
they
though?
have that.
What do you mean by control? We operate from a scale from control. In what way?
Anyway, like I said, on it's a different scale because depending on the amount of people that you can have control over or influence over or whatever. These people that you're speaking of, you're calling them sociopaths because they're on such a high tier,
No, it's not about where they're at.
level
It's about
scale.
their actions. You could be on the high tier and be a normal person. Just because you're up there don't mean you got to be participating in psychopathic behavior and barbarism. You know,
Or what do you that's how? What do you mean by barbarism? though? What do you mean psychopathic?
the pillaging and enslaving, disrupting.
that part. I thought
That's
you
what I'm
just
talking
meant
about.
like when we were just talking about the money, and then
No, but I'm saying, but it's all tied into that because in order to get all the money,
if you're there trying to,
in order to be able to control all of the money, you have to operate from that kind of
and that's
perspective.
who they are. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not disputing that, but what I'm saying is everybody don't operate like that. You trying to say that some people operate like that on a low level? That's not true. Everybody don't think about control. Some people just live their life just peacefully. That's not true.
No, I didn't say everyone. I never said everyone.
Well, you said
nothing.
most.
Right. Nothing applies to. We need to get out of
most
this.
is closer to everyone.
We need to get out. Okay. All right. But we need to get out of this. Are you a firm believer that words mean things? Because I be having this conversation with people all the time. Are you a firm believer that words mean things?
Words, absolutely. Words.
All right. So let's talk common sense. Let's talk common sense.
Yeah.
Were you taught growing up and in school that nothing applies to all? For the most part, nothing applies to all. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So then why do we have to always keep saying, not every, not all? We know this.
Okay.
So let's stop then, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So you saying that to say what, though?
Because you kept, I never said every, because I know nothing applies to every.
But you said most, and I wouldn't even agree with that.
All right. Well, if
and that's closer to every.
It is. If we could, but
I don't agree with that.
If we had some
people
sort of way to
operate from certain control. I believe some yes, but not most. No,
well,
I don't believe most.
Well, there's a difference in now. I believe most. I believe most. Like I said, the scales are different.
I think
I believe the scales are different, but I believe most
control.
Yes.
You got to. I think you got to be more specific. I think that's a blanket statement. I think you got to be more specific, like what example.
You mean define the word of control?
No, not define it. Like be more like something tangible, where you, like an example of what you're saying of how people could want to operate on control on a smaller level.
Some people will. Okay, some stores or something will hike up prices to get over on people just for the sake of making more money. Or something like that, knowing that it's wrong, or that's not the price, or it shouldn't be done that way, according to the majority, as you would say, the majority of the people. But there are many people, if they can get away with doing something for the sake of money or whatever it is, control, power.
That's being slick, though. I don't think that's control, though.
That is
You're being slick.
That is a form of control, because if
I know something is $10, but I charge somebody $40 for it.
Yeah, that's a
form
of control. That's being slick.
Because I'm controlling the price because they don't know it in that regard.
Yes, and you're getting over on people when you don't have to.
Okay, I see.
That's a form of control
in that kind of sense. Just like
right. That's what I meant. But that's why I said they're different. There are always going to be different layers and depth to it. But what I'm saying is that now the people that are higher up, that's who they are. Some were born into that ideology and past, and it's been going on and going forth because that's who they are.
No, I feel you.
Just like people who were born into a racist type of a racist lifestyle, like their family and stuff like that. They kept pushing that narrative, but this is the way it is, and this is the way it's always going to be as far as we're concerned.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Yes, sir.
Off topic, because I was just seeing. So I wanted to ask you about this. Did you see that story about the black sister that got hit with a brick a few weeks ago?
I heard about it. I didn't see her actually get hit with a brick.
Now I heard though that she was lying.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying that supposedly she scammed. But they said, from what I heard, someone told me that they believe that she scammed because she had like stuff on whether TikTok or what's it called, where she would go up to like Caucasian men, and slap them and say this is for reparations, or this is our reparations, or something like that, or whatever have you.
Now,
so
I'm asking you that because I seen that there was a whole like debate. You had like people going back and forth on the topic that she sparked the debate, even though it was fake. She sparked the debate. Are black men entitled, or should black men protect black women that's not with them?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
So if you was walking and you see a black woman across the street getting beat up by two guys stomping her, you're not gonna go. You gonna walk past?
If I see two men stomping a black woman across the street, me personally,
they're wailing on her. She's like, stop, and they just.
I'd probably call the cops. Me running over there. Now you're asking me, because obviously I don't know what's going on. Correct? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why this occurred. Correct?
True.
I know. Now I'll tell you what though. If it were like that situation on the train where that older man was whipping the elderly woman and she was clearly much elderly. He was younger than her, obviously. Yeah, of course I'm gonna inject there. Like older women, come on, like that. I hold a special place in my heart. If I could do something there,
but I'm just saying, you said no, man, quick though. That no was.
I guess I thought about it from a different perspective, but for the most part,
see,
I don't know her, and I have no, like.
The only reason, I get that.
That's where we get weakened.
I understand that, and I do
because
get
they
that.
believe a lot of them believe that they can treat us a certain way, and then we have to be there and protect. And that's why I said that's why men will always lose the gender war. Sad to say, it is because it is a gender war, and we will always lose because, like I said, women could know that what women are doing is wrong to men or whatever, and how often do you hear? But I gotta ride with my woman. I'm a woman. A man, he as a protector could know that the man is correct. But listen, back up, homie. This or that and stuff like that. Now I'm not mad at you for saying back up, homie, whatever. But where is the unity within the men? Sometimes something has to occur for you to understand. Listen, we are not going to keep allowing this. Now, I'm not advocating at all, like you said, two men wailing on a woman and stuff like that. But I also would prefer to have context too. Did she walk up to him with a closed fist and punch him?
See, I'm gonna be honest. That's where the disagreement.
Well, then that means once again, that means that you yourself are a sexist then. Because if I'm reading this correctly, that you believe that either way, if she hits him, he has no right to put his hands on a woman. Granted, he shouldn't, but I'm not going to say that he has no right to.
See, no,
especially in this equality-driven world.
The reason why, go ahead.
In this equality-driven world, which is already sexist already, because that's just what it is. It's a sexist world, and I understand that. But what I'm saying is, all of this PC stuff that we're trying to promote and stuff like that, then no. Sometimes deterrents have to be set in place for you to understand that. And like I said, the way their union is so strong because they know they have control. They can take advantage of us. They will do something one moment, and then the next moment, oh, I'm a woman, and their sense of entitlement for a lot of them, of course, because I don't want anybody out there that's lacking common sense, just going back to what we said about common sense, to think all, but that's why they believe they can get away with stuff. That's why there are times when I'm around women or something like that, I'm like, listen, you don't engage in anything like that. You walk away, or you let a man handle that. Men should handle men.
Absolutely.
Women should handle women. We have lost sight of that.
Yes.
Now, like you said, I did answer that pretty quickly. Yes. Was that correct for me to do? No. But like I said, I do like context. Is it correct for the men to be wailing on the women a bit? No.
See, but my whole thing is that because of the delusion with the rhetoric that's spewed today in regards to women being able to compete with men on the physical level and we're equal and stuff like that. I don't agree with that nonsense. But because of that delusion, I don't think, because you have some women that subscribe to that and then feel that they can put their hands on a man, I don't think that then that justifies a man to say, okay, since you want to live in this delusional world where you think equality is real, if you put your hands on me, I'm then going to put my hands on you. I think that guy should have enough common sense to know if he engages in that nonsense and really does put his hands on that woman, he'll lay her out. So that's the aspect that's the perspective that I'm coming from. I clearly know that what this woman is saying is delusional. Clearly about competing with me on that physical level. Right. But if a woman does put her hands on me, I'm not going to hit her.
But let me ask you this.
It doesn't make any sense to do that. So knowing that, I think that needs to be more understood from a community aspect. Individually, I can see where in certain situations you could be over there and see a girl with dealing with some guy. You go get yourself involved. It could go left. A girl sometimes ends up going even backward to do. It can get dangerous for you. In individual situations, I get it. But I'm just saying, if we worked on it from a community standpoint, we could. I think slowly the behavior could be eradicated where it's not tolerated. Where we do put our hands on the women in our communities.
I'm not advocating putting your hand on.
It's more like you said, men with men, women with women.
Right.
Because women need to also learn
that's what I'm saying.
to stop
you know
engaging with men in that behavior.
This
like
sense
that.
of entitlement
But,
and control will only be more empowered.
True,
but see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what we talked about with control? That's control.
What?
When they know that, oh, I believe in equality, so I can put my hands on you, whatever. But then the man has to say,
laugh.
No, the man has to say,
it's a joke.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Although they say that we're equal, we're not equal, and I have to. So once again, that's control.
Listen, I'm talking about.
So are they wrong?
I'm talking about
now. Do you see the control aspect on small scales?
Yeah, but
what I've been saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is though,
is that control?
It's control to a certain degree.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but no, but then it's not really control, no, because at the end, I'm gonna tell you why it's not. 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 Because at the end of the day, it still goes through if you want to be technical,
we have to control ourselves.
No,
of course,
I just mean for the whole thing. At the end of the day, what they do is what women do. Really, is still under the decision of men. Because think about this: women want rights and stuff like that. They still have to come to men to approve it. We still have to okay it. So at the end of the day, the structure, how it's set up. It's what I'm saying. We'll always be in control, but it's recognizing that, but still being accommodating to the female nature and the female perspective. What I'm saying is there's never no reason. I don't care what a woman's saying or what kind of delusion she subscribes to. When it pertains to physicality, a man should not be engaging. Point blank. Period.
So if she knows that, then why would she engage in physicality? Say all the things you want.
No, but what do you mean?
Say all the things you want. Why would she engage in physicality first?
Why would she engage in physicality first?
You want to know why? Because most of them,
society has
from a percentage standpoint, they know that more men are going to utilize the restraint and discipline and say, I can lay out. That's control and entitlement, bro.
Yeah, but you want to want to control, because you can hit her and lay out and put her to sleep. So now what?
What I'm saying is the fact that she knows most likely that I will not do it. She is now in control of me. She is making me weak.
Cause you won't physically.
I'm getting physically abused. Yeah, see, that's why you got that look on your face. You are a clear sexist. But I expect it. Sexism is the way of the world. But we try to throw in this PC stuff.
Bro,
these people in the higher up offices, they should be excommunicated. They should be excommunicated and exiled. Surely.
I'm a sexist against men.
Surely.
I'm a sexist against men. Because I don't advocate
no
responding physical.
No,
if they get physical, I don't
you don't believe
you don't gotta do that.
I know there's no such thing as equality, but
Now I
You
do
said-
agree. Certain women should
You
know
said
not to
you preach
engage. I
equality
agree.
You preach equality in other episodes.
Of course.
No such thing.
Of course, I preach about.
It's not
No,
equality.
no, it's not equal. We're not equal. We're
balanced.
We're complementary to each other.
We are balanced.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been trying
I'd
to
always
teach you
argue
for the longest.
that a man's
What was the
weakness
word
is a
I was
woman's
looking
strength, and a woman's weakness is a man's strength.
forgot the
It's
word.
yin and yang.
That's what when I tried to tell
Yeah,
you
it's
and your
balanced.
brother that, y'all looked at me like, yo, but yo,
Wait,
it
tell
doesn't
me
have to be
what?
conflicted. Because when I was talking about good, evil, and stuff like that, when y'all were talking about the different cultures and stuff like that, and how wars occur.
Oh no, you were saying something different. Don't do
I
that.
said yin yang,
No,
though.
don't do that. No.
I said but
We were
it's
talking about
just a
wars. We
different
were talking about
opposing forces
colonialism
and
and
stuff
taking
like
over and
that.
enslaving and
Why do I
pillaging and
have to get the
killing.
word I
That was
was
something
about to
different.
look up?
That ain't the same.
But yin yang.
No, that's not yin yang,
You
yo.
could be complimentary with yin yang. You could be conflicting with
No,
yin yang.
that's
the way
different.
Of the world.
No, that's not yin. Yin yang is balance. There's no balance.
Right,
Pillaging.
right. Good,
There's no
evil.
pillaging. No, stop. No.
There's going to be a balance. There's a thin line between love and hate. There's a fine line between insane and genius. That's just what it is. They're balance.
Bruh.
What you said about the common sense stuff, balance. Some people may view it as an imbalance, but yes, there's still a balance within 100% of it. Whether it's 70-30, there's a balance. It balances out to that. So what I'm saying is that balance, yes, it could be conflicting, it could be complementary, it could all depend on what is at that moment. That's just what it is. So once again, there is
saying, listen,
no
all
equality.
I'm saying is
There is
I'm not saying that. Like I said, it's complementary.
Oh, I know what word.
We're not. It's not about being equal because nothing is equal. It's all complementary. There's a hierarchy in everything.
Yes, sexism,
a company
prejudice, or discrimination based on sex. So yes,
Yeah.
you can be sexist towards men.
How though? How?
Prejudice or discrimination based on sex.
I haven't said anything.
So you believe that just because a man gets hit and he has more power usually than women, you believe that he's supposed to sit there,
I didn't
accept
say
that, and take.
No, because
said
if
he's
you talk
supposed to-
if you talk about it, there's some women that are very large in stature. I've seen videos where women are tearing up a
Right.
small stature guy. I wouldn't tell him that. I'd say do what you got to do to protect yourself, defend yourself. So it all.
Wiz,
You know, what's good, Wiz? What's going on,
How
my
you
guy?
living, man? Listen, we're gonna get redemption for that game, man. That was horrible. That was a debacle. But okay, behavior, conditions, or attitudes that foster stereotypes of social roles based on sex. It's okay. It's a sexist world.
I'm trying
So
to say
that
how
yes,
yeah, but
we are
I didn't
sexist
say
at-
anything.
Just genders alone, we are sexist. We are sexist. We believe certain things because of our gender, and we believe certain things because of their gender. They believe that they should be. Well, many of them believe that they should be courted because they're a woman, and this is a woman should never tell her age.
Okay, we agree there. But I don't agree with that.
Stupid. Exactly.
Yeah,
Stupidity.
but you can look
This
back there.
is a sexist world.
But
That's all I'm saying.
I'm not gonna really. That's fine. There's no issue really. I mean, yeah, women do it. They lie about their age. Some guys lie about their age.
Is it a sexist
I don't
world?
know that we're putting Rogaine and how they grade.
is it a
That's lying
sexist
about
world?
your age.
Is it a sexist world? No,
They
that's
do-
not.
they
No,
do-
no, that's not.
Stop
true.
it.
No, that's
Yes,
not
it
lying
is.
about your.
Yes,
Hold
it is,
on,
'cause
bro.
you trying
That's
to
not-
stop it. You
No,
trying to
no,
make
no. That's
yourself
not.
look
No,
younger.
no, no,
Come
no,
on.
no. All right.
It's trying to. It's trying to
Hold on.
stop it.
You're-
It's trying to
that-
make.
that-
You're
that-
trying
That's
to.
not lying about your age.
Yes, it is.
Hold on. Can I get some
You're trying to
context,
appear
please?
younger.
Can I
Stop it.
get some
That's lying,
context,
bro.
please?
You're trying to
Yes,
appear
yes,
younger.
because grades usually tend to come with age.
Exactly.
Hold on. Maybe you just aren't happy with your grades. You can love your age. You can love your age.
Well, why you happy?
can
Why you
just-
not happy with the grade? Because of what?
Because you don't like the way it looks on you.
And then,
I'm just saying. I'm not saying.
bro, it implies age. Come
we
on,
agree
bro.
there.
That's
We
why-
agree
that's
there.
why I got
You
people
always trying to what's being
That's what I'm saying.
stated.
You want to appear younger. That's my point.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. That's what that is created for. It's to appear younger.
What is created for? Yes.
Yes.
But his personal reasoning could be different. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm disagreeing with you're just doing it to appear younger. Yeah,
Doug, I'm talking about what majority of the consensus that take.
Agreed.
That's what I'm going by.
Agreed.
I'm not going by the minority. I'm going by the majority.
Right, and I'm going by the majority of the world is sexist. Now,
but you're trying to bring up a point. I'm not.
Okay.
I was saying there's no reason in certain situations I can understand a man putting his hands on a woman, but in most no.
So then let me say this then. So could I say that I can understand a man putting his hands on a woman in terms of defense? If she puts her hands on...
If he's in fear of his life, and you telling me that his life, he's in literally fear.
Bro. If she puts her hands on him, all right, let's say it happens the first time. He walks away, whatever, and he doesn't do anything. Let's say he's with this woman, and for some odd reason he decides to stay with her. Next time it happens, she possibly knows not gonna do anything. Let's say she just hits him once again. But so let's say the third time, now she starts wailing on him because she knows that he's not gonna do anything. Bro. What do you mean? Oh my God, bro! Okay. She just keeps hitting him. She keeps hitting him. She keeps hitting him.
You can restrain a woman, bro. I mean, I'm not. All right.
So even if you restrain a woman, she can still call the cops and say that you did something.
How's she gonna say that? She ain't got no marks on. She can't say I hit her.
She could say that he grabbed me very strongly and my arm turned red or whatever.
I'd rather that than me actually respond and actually do hit her.
But either way, you can still go to jail,
damage, and then cops come and it's real.
Yeah, right.
Now she got a whole.
Right. You can still go to jail. I agree. I'm not advocating that.
You're not going to go to jail. There's no marks on her. You just have a dispute. You got to leave the premises.
I'm advocating an understanding.
But I'm not going to engage in that to that degree because
no, of course not. But I'm advocating an understanding of we have to stop.
Look, listen.
We have to stop accepting their mentality and their actions because they know that it's advantageous for them.
Yeah, but but everybody does that though.
Control.
We do it too.
And let's start with the everybody.
But we do that too. Men do that too. I'm talking about men and women.
Then we don't want to
men and women.
I told you that most people operate off of control. It's just smaller scale.
Wait, you're not listening.
You're agreeing with what I'm saying.
But I'm not disputing that in regards to this particular topic because I said also individually there's examples of that, of control. And I gave an example by charging somebody more when you know it's really less.
That's all I was saying.
So I never disputed that.
No, at first you did. You said, I don't know.
No, I was talking about not over. I said individually, yes. But I said majority of people on the level in comparison to what I'm talking about at the top, no, it's not even close. It's night and day.
Okay.
You put money in front of somebody.
You put money in front of somebody, I guarantee you it'll change them. If you put money in front of somebody, I guarantee you it'll change.
What I'm saying is from a community standpoint of us doing more of we don't operate from a community standpoint. We operate from an individual standpoint.
So therefore, then my argument has even more validity and credence. Then
yeah, but then that doesn't make it better. It's actually worse. That's why we're in the condition.
We're worse. We're worse as people. Guaranteed. 100,000%.
This is
that's
why
not
I'm
changing
saying
either. It's only going to get more worse.
Protecting other women from an individual standpoint, we're not thinking from a community standpoint. Just like we don't think about we only think about our house. We don't think about the other kids or the other. Let's say there's another black children that don't have fathers. Yeah. We don't think about them. We just think about our black kids. But those other black kids that's growing up in the kid. But listen to what I'm saying. Those black kids that's coming up in the community. If you gave them some guidance, you could steer them in the right direction and give them a proper trajectory for their life to go into. But by you just worrying about your household, those kids could come up to be potential addicts, fiends, and guess what? Violate your children as they get bigger, living in the same neighborhood.
Very much
what I'm saying is
many
you
of
don't
us
think
are lacking
about
within
your
our own house.
If you
anyway.
think about everybody, the houses that don't have dads or stuff like that, or the houses that don't have moms, think community. If we think from a community base, things would be a lot different. We'd be a lot further along. We think too individualistic. From a community standpoint, if all men said, listen, my mother, my wife is your wife, my mother is your mother, your daughter is my daughter. You touch your daughter, you touch my daughter. That's a community type of that's a community-based type of mindset. We operated like that before.
That's what I'm trying to say. You asked us to go back,
so
they're not going to do
we,
that.
That's what I'm saying, but that's why, but when you... When
back in the day, those parents trusted their neighbors to be the parents at that time. Nowadays, a lot of that is going into the new age of parenting and stuff like that. They don't trust a lot of other people.
No, we don't trust each other. Yeah.
All right, so we're not going to just put it on. If we do this, we do. A lot of That's why I said community. You're not open.
All of us. I'm not relegating it to an individual.
But it has to start somewhere.
I'm talking about. Listen, it's gonna have to start of a group recognizing at the same time and making a group effort moving forward.
Good luck.
Because if one individual see it and trying to spark the movement by himself, it ain't gonna go nowhere. You need groups of like-minded people getting together.
You're trying to bring back a world that won't exist.
You're not gonna get it. No.
Like you said, you're not gonna get it. You're not. It's not happening, brother. So I hate to say be a quitter or give up, but let it go by. Bro.
I was saying all that to say though. Now that's why you can't.
Uh-huh.
We got to be more like. I don't think I'm standing there and be seeing no lady get stomped. I'm not doing that.
No, I think you had asked me do you think it should be our right to what is it? Protect?
If we operated from a more community base, I would say absolutely.
Yes. Well, that's why I answered more so as
because we operate from an individualistic standpoint. No.
So you believe what I'm believing
from an individualistic
standpoint. That's the only way I was answering.
But if we operate, but that's why I said there's two versions of it though. If we operated from a community base, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's our responsibility to protect the women in the community.
Yeah, you want
from
to
a
know
community
why?
base, yes. From an individual, no, because we don't. There's no cohesive operation amongst us.
Exactly.
So it's not gonna. It's not. It's
exactly.
too individualistic.
We can't go up there and mount up and group up and say, yo, listen, we're not allowing this happening in our neighborhood. So you get out of here with all of that.
We don't. Like I said, we don't look at it like my son is your son. Your son is my son.
Right.
Your daughter's my daughter. My daughter's your. That's community based. We just think mine is mine. Yours is yours. That's
Our generation was pretty much close at the end of that period. I grew up in that. You grew up in that age, that community, period where it was. Oh, okay, you act up. Like at that time, if my neighbor was watching me, I did something wrong. They gonna beat my hind parts. And then tell my parents, and then they beat me up. They beat me. You understand what I'm saying? Rightfully so.
Yeah.
But now, if you enlist someone to watch your children, you can't do anything to them. So they can run amok and do all of that. And they're like, don't touch my child.
Yeah, the community.
So then you watch your child.
Yeah, we don't operate. The thing too, I think it was like from all the way from the 1800s all the way to up until 1930 in the South, like black people didn't lock their doors in their community.
I think in the South, I don't think they still.
They didn't lock their doors. Everybody's doors was open. Like they were so community oriented that they
you had to trust one another. Man.
The lack of all we had.
The trust isn't there.
But the lack of trust fell after integration. We wanted to be trustworthy and be accepting, to everybody else. You know it, bro. You know it's not about that.
To put that on, man.
It's the truth.
It's within.
Wait.
It's from
not about
within.
finding somebody. That's still on us because we did
There
it.
you go.
Yeah.
There you
we
go.
still did it.
So
that's our fault.
I'm not going to put it on integration.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it on us. You look from within.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look for external.
That was definitely.
I'm not gonna look for external sources to be the reason why.
That was one of the worst things, man.
Listen, man.
Because I seen something how I was looking at how this guy was talking to kids and talking about how to become an entrepreneur and work hard now. He was talking about how hard it was back then, and they was doing it. Like he talked about Madam C.J. Walker. She's the first black female millionaire in America, and he said this woman was doing this in the late 1800s, early 1900s, at a time when racism was still at its height. and she was able to pull that off to work hard.
Well, I'll tell you why, though.
But exactly, I was just about to, I was maybe we'll agree on this because I was saying, granted, yes, she was dealing with racism and all of that, but the reason why she was so successful is because it was group economics.
And
she was able, more black people worked together. To work together and sell or buy amongst each other. Wasn't there.
You know what? We got to support her no matter what. Don't get me wrong. It happens to some degree here and there nowadays, but I'm not mad. Nowadays it's tougher because, like you said, all right, I'm rocking. There's so many things out there. You're like, I might rock with this or whatever have you. It's just like everybody's trying to get a show up off the ground. Everybody's trying to get this business off the ground.
Yeah.
How are you gonna distinguish yourself? Nowadays you can't do it without some sort of like cosign or something like that. Even like back in the day, like when you had to do radio and stuff like that, you needed a cosign. But now the cosign has to be like some sort of stamp of approval online or something like that. He has to be certified. You gotta have the blue check, something of that nature. So it's much harder when everybody's believing that they can do it. It's just like when we critique sports or whatever, like everybody can't do it, but the reason why is because there are clear differences that'll just knock you out the box immediately with your physicality or lack of it, whatever, like your ability to run, jump, and stuff like that. But when it comes down to certain things, trying to start a business or whatever, you don't get that harsh reality until you be like, damn, these people aren't willing to buy, these people aren't willing to tune in to this show, or these people aren't willing to do that. So it's much tougher and it becomes more humbling. But when Madam C.J. Walker was doing that, and all right, this is our group, this is our people, all right, the whites don't rock, the Caucasians don't rock with us. Yeah. So, okay, cool. So, come on, we definitely in support of you, Madam C.J. We love you. We got your back. You understand what I'm saying? Like you said, the group economics came together and said, all right, so we gonna buy with them. And that's what's missing.
People don't emphasize
because if you go to Chinatown, they keeping that within.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yo, if we practice that would really eradicate a lot of the problems that plague our communities. Just simply group economics.
Well, we need
investing in your community and investing in businesses and entrepreneurship in your community.
I was about to say, but one of the major major issues is that within our community, within itself, we don't have like-minded businesses in there. We might have deli grocery stores that might be owned by Dominicans or Puerto Ricans or Cuban or Russian or something of that nature. We don't have even the chicken spots. I don't believe that, you understand what I'm saying? We would have to probably go out somewhere to go to like a health food store that's black owned and go there and consistently patronize their businesses. But then again, when we do things, most of the stuff is within a close proximity, right? Yeah. So like you said, then we're not even technically patronizing our community if we have to go somewhere else where that community is located. I mean, where that business is located to support it because it's black owned and is within, and we want to keep.
But when we have when we see one of our own people having a business in the community, we don't go there. We want to go to everybody.
I personally haven't seen like a.
Bro, I've seen black owned. There's a certain black owned businesses in the community. We'll go to the Arab.
What do they sell?
We'll go to the Arab.
They sell the same thing as the Arabs?
Yeah, they'll have a supermarket. We'll go to the Arab. We'll go to the Chinese spot. We'll go to everybody else outside of our own first. That's what I'm saying. We don't practice group economics.
I've seen like
that's what everybody. We enrich everybody else,
right.
Not our own.
So
that's what I'm saying. That's
from
what I'm
saying. I've seen like some African markets. But
we're African people that only go in there, not American.
Right. I was about to say because I've walked past it and I've seen some supplies. They don't really have much. Like it's a small store that doesn't have much supplies. Like if you've got the same amount as a regular grocery store and and stuff like that, then I have no problem. I have no problem patronizing.
But the difference is though, with us, Africans that have a spot, a restaurant or whatever, or a business, and only Africans are going there. You'll have like American blacks or Caribbean blacks and stuff like that. They won't go in there. You'll just have the Africans that go in there. But let's say you see a Chinese spot. Koreans are still going that Chinese spot.
Well, I don't know.
Japanese are still going that spot.
Maybe
they'll still recognize that they'll still have that camaraderie amongst each other based upon culture-wise. They'll still identify with each other. First, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
they'll do that faster before we will with each other. For example, you can have like
they
a Jewish.
They separate themselves from us more so than anything.
See, we don't unite just off the fact that we black. We make it an identity thing. What I mean by we subscribe to nationality or where you was born. White folks, Germans may not get along with Irish may not like Polish may not like Anglo-Saxons. But guess what? They all recognize each other as white. They all come together and work together when it comes to economics and institutional power and structure. They come together and work. They don't be on that, oh, you Polish, I'm German, I'll rock with you. They don't do that. They say, that's my white brother, let's come together and work. But we don't do that.
Universal language.
But it's not even about it's the money aspect, but what I'm saying is
that's
the
the
other
thing
aspect.
that's tying them together.
Yes,
Let's stop, bro.
Before the money, though, it's a community aspect because you have to come together to form a conglomerate. Then once you get that conglomerate, you're not in position to dictate the distribution and the flow of money in that society. But first, it starts with you coming together to work
based upon
together.
Money.
Yes, but
that's the thought process.
But the money part, you
that.
get that. By working together as a group,
we agree there,
collectively.
100%.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
You'll get there. You'll definitely
I tell
get
people
there.
all the time, it always takes a team. For you to do it by yourself.
But what I'm saying is they don't separate the way we do. Blacks be like, I'm Haitian, I don't like him because he's Jamaican.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm Trinidadian, I don't like him because he's Nigerian. Yeah. Oh, I don't like him because he's an American. He's from the South.
And that's why we will
It's stupidness amongst us. Where there's no unity. You know what I'm saying? We have to come together with congruity, man, when it comes to fixing the problems that, you know, and the plight that we deal with every day.
Yeah, we're about to close out. Mm-hmm.
So that's what we all got to do as a whole, man. We have to have some kind of congruity in regards to rectifying the issues.
Good luck. But thank you for your time.
Think positive, bro. Don't say good luck, man. Huh? Think positive, bro.
I'm thinking from a realistic standpoint of what the world has
I know, be optimistic, though. Don't be so pessimistic. You want to be pessimistic?
No, because, no. See, here's the thing, once again. When it comes to this stuff like that, right? Shout out to these guys, you know what I mean? Fresh and fit, right?
Yeah.
Every time, like, these women be on the show, right? They're like, not all, not every, whatever. But then you give a percentage base or whatever, and they're still hoping on for that little percentage, stuff like that. What do you want me to be optimistic of when times have shown and displayed what is? I used to try to think optimistic, and I still do think optimistically, but I think more realistically as to what it is. And like you said, people have a lack of common sense. So why would you're asking me to believe in people that just...
Okay. I'll say it this way. Prepare for the worst, but hope for the better.
Well, you're right. Percentage-wise, 75%, I'm preparing for the worst. But yes, thank you. Please, we're about to close out. Follow us on our socials at the bottom of the screen. Man. You see what's going on. We are always powered by iAccess Radio. You know, please like, subscribe.
Appreciate y'all, definitely.
Yes,
we're tuning
subscribe to iAccess Radio. They're giving us tons of content, all the shows, plenty of different topics to discuss. We need y'all, man. It takes a village. We appreciate y'all. Thanks, Miss Unique.
Appreciate you.
Sis. And thanks, Pop. We appreciate you. Thank you. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate that, guys.
Till next time, you know, it should be 2 weeks from now. What is today? Today is the 16th, right? September 30th, we should be rocking out with y'all. You know, make sure you come back, tune in. Like I said, always Send us some messages on our socials. Keep the engagement up. Tune in with us. We got more in store for y'all.
Yes, indeed, guys. Peace and love, man. See y'all next time.
Safety.
Oh, man.
I can't believe you have that much faith, man.
It's not about faith.
Yeah, you just
I
can't.
just said, prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
You got that much faith.